Yeah, we just gonna go ahead and get started.
Baseline.
Hey! Yeah. P, I think I'm gonna do the slow flow again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Porch Podcast.
Come on.
Porch Podcast. Yeah, the Porch Podcast. The Porch Podcast. Porch Podcast. We do it one more time. Episode 9199.
Slow rhyme.
Got the slow rhyme going. Influential the illest. You know I stay flowing. I got the cup tonight. Sometimes I write, but this ain't one of them days that I do it. I just keep it moving just like fluid. So, let the flow go.
Right.
Y'all know I'm here to let it go. Influential the illest that you know. On the porch, so we blow nothing. Cause that ain't what we do. No powder, I just mess with you. When I say these games and I say these names, and influential let the pain, you know why? Why? Porch Podcast. Porch Podcast. Porch Podcast. Raise your glass, what? For the Porch Podcast. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I don't know where I was going, but welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
P original, baby. Not Gonzo.
Not Gonzo. That's right, not Gonzo. Not Gonzo.
Hey, man. Welcome to another episode, y'all.
And this is episode 91. And guess what it is? 91. Let's go. Let's go. Clap it up.
Yeah, hey, man. Let's get right into it. How your week been, man? How your week been going, brother?
You know what? I ain't got no complaints.
That's good. That's good.
No complaints, cause I'm breathing, and you know I'm not going to just turn it to one of the moments. That's the giving part. But other than the fact that, you know, that Lord, the Creator, has blessed me.
Talk about
it with other days and things of that nature, and another shot at it.
Right.
Week was pretty decent.
That's good. That's good.
You know, Monday night though. Monday night.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts put on. Let's clap it up. Jalen Hurts put on a clinic.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did.
He put on a clinic.
Shout out to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Great game. Great game.
Right. Great game
if
for
you're
them.
An Eagles fan. Not a great game if you're a Minnesota fan.
Not at all.
But if you're an Eagles fan, you enjoyed what you saw on Monday night. You enjoyed it.
Y'all definitely did y'all thing.
Yeah. And if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, oh my God.
Yeah. The Buffalo Bills as well. They're very scary. You know, with the power rankings for this week that just passed, they're ranked number 1.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, the Bills are ranked number 1.
What I saw on Monday night and actually in week 1 as well, I can't argue with that.
They ranked number 1. Kansas City was ranked number 2. The Philadelphia Eagles was ranked number 3. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is ranked number 4.
Like it.
Yeah,
like it.
And I don't have the rest of them here. Only thing I didn't like on that power rankings, I just felt like the Giants should have been raised a little higher.
It's okay. It's only week 2. You know, when these rankings come out, it's only that's the power rankings for week 2. Yeah. But you know, the season is kicked off. You know, you got some teams that's out there doing their thing, man. Like you said, Jalen Hurts. You know what? Everybody likes a story, and I'm not calling him Rudy because he's not a Rudy guy. But
no, he's not. He's not. No.
Everybody likes a story that the person is defeating the odds, right, or developing. Whether you're a particular team's, you know, like if you're an Eagles fan, that's cool. If you're not, you know,
right,
you like individual players or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Everybody likes a story where, you know, the person, you know, changes the odds. Like, and I just really want to say, beyond being an Eagles fan, like he really put on an exceptional show. Him along with that defense that played lights out this week.
Right. And I look at the Bucks too, defense that actually helped us snap this 7-game losing streak of the regular season that we've been suffering with the New Orleans Saints for the last few seasons. Yeah. You know what I mean? So That's cool. Other than the playoffs, we beat them in the playoffs, but it's just good. It's just good, you know. But Jalen Hurts on Monday night hurt my fantasy.
Oh yeah.
I had a convincing lead.
Yeah, you was doing pretty good. You was doing pretty
Convincing
good.
lead, and nobody
Right?
knew he was going to come in and do what he did. So, shout out to him though, because I want him. I still want him to be successful. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
act like I
there you
don't
go.
want him to be
There you go.
successful.
Absolutely. Yeah, we kind of had a conversation about that earlier. How sometimes people, man, regardless of whatever their accomplishments are, still get. I'm not gonna say scrutinized. It's kind of a deep, maybe a larger word than necessary. But it's people that really be like, "Yo, I hope they lose," and it's amazing, right?
Right,
Because everybody admires, in my opinion, champions, and when champions become the viewpoint of being wanted to see somebody lose or whatever. I don't care if you're talking about Brady or if you're talking about, LeBron James, if you're talking about Mayweather. It's
right,
just funny how these things come up and people are more interested in seeing them actually lose
right,
than to continue to just, set the bar, even higher or just really, kind of just become even more larger than life than what they are in terms of like their accomplishments.
right,
And it's just a reminder, man, that no matter what, even if you out there and you're a champion, and even if you out there doing like amazing things,
right,
it's always gonna be people, man, that like really want to see you lose. And it's just funny. It's
right.
funny, man. But
I think it's a form of motivation for a lot of people, though. You know what I mean? You
maybe,
know,
maybe. I don't what do
yeah.
you mean? Like you mean like in the sense of like motivation to who? Like it can't be a motivation to the champions because they
Oh,
don't
you
need it.
because you speaking more on fans wanting these people to lose. Yeah, you're right. So that motivation side, that you know what, that shit don't make no motherfucking sense. Yep,
Gotcha.
not at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Matter of fact, I'm looking
Yeah.
for the right one. Ain't it? Ain't. That's what I meant right there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I understand it. I get it. You know what I mean? Because people are more in tune with their realities being, fulfilled than the reality of the people that's working to, become champions.
Right.
Right? So it's a difference. But let me tell you about my week, man. I asked you
Mm-hmm.
what was going on and stuff. Well, it's been a trying week, man. A lot of things been going on, man. You know, one of the things that transpired this week is crazy, man. You being known as the Waterman. I don't know if I talked to you about this or not.
Mm.
So I come in Saturday, and I don't know why. I come in, I get ready to wash out my coffee cup. I made my runs that morning. As I'm washing my coffee cup in the sink, all of a sudden there's a drip that hits the top of my hand. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, why would water be hitting the top of my hand? It's not like my hand was underneath the faucet while I was running. It just didn't make sense. I look up and the ceiling has a leak. Now immediately I know what's going on because I know where the bathroom is, located on the second floor of my
Mm-hmm.
home. So I go upstairs and I see the water and instantly I'm just like, oh my gosh. I cut the water off and try to figure out what's going on, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, so that was that situation. Tried to rectify it, tried to fix that. Ran out, grabbed the parts, came back. It was some situation with the bolts and everything in the back of the toilet where the tank meets the actual bowl. I go
Mm-hmm.
to fix that. That doesn't resolve the issue. I go to pull the tank forward and break the entire toilet.
Mm.
So I know, Pop, if you're listening, yeah, baby boy, your son's still doing it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What? Let me
Tight,
ask you
tight,
this question.
tight is tight. Tight
You
is
try
tight,
to
Dad. He's right.
yank him off or something?
Now, I don't know. First off, there was no other him in the bathroom with me. So when you say yank him off, I'll never fall victim to that.
No, no. You were
So
trying to pull the toilet from the ground because you had
no,
unbolted it.
no. Okay, so the tank, I was trying to get it in that, like you say all the time, that sweet spot. Because what was all right? So in this particular tank, on this
Yeah.
particular toilet,
Right.
there's three bolts instead of two. So
Mm.
every time I have two of the bolts connected the correct way where it wasn't leaking, the other one would leak. So it wasn't perfectly aligned. Long story short, in that situation, I went to pull it away from the wall, thinking that I would be able to level it out and broke the toilet.
So let me ask you this: was it the same one leaking every time?
It wasn't because, like I said, if I got
Okay.
one,
So
like I
it
said, out of
wasn't.
three.
So
So
it
if I
wasn't the
get, you know what I'm
gasket.
saying?
Yeah, it wasn't the gasket.
No, but I changed everything. I changed the gasket. I changed all the bolts because it's been, we've been in the house now for about 10 years, and I felt like, okay, it's cool. We got to make the adjustment. So this is where I got to give, you know, my father-in-law his kudos.
Mm-hmm.
Came through in the clutch. He was like, you know what, son-in-law, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grab that toilet and I'll bring it back over tomorrow and we'll throw it in. And change the toilet. Everything's fine. Everything's good with it. Everything with the ceiling and the kitchen and everything like that is being addressed. So that was that. So that was the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in your mind, you're saying to yourself, wow, whew, that's the weekend. I know it's up from here. Monday, I'm sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping pretty good, so I ain't gonna front.
But
Really
that's
good
usually
sleep.
what that powder does. Put you right on
That's
out.
not good.
That's
I
usually
wouldn't
what
know.
that.
Would have
That
no
you
idea. Would have no idea.
felt
When I tell
magical. You
you,
had
I don't
you
know
felt
anything.
the sleep
That's
made you
not
feel
true.
magical though. Let's be
Everything
honest.
you're saying is that's not true. None of what you're saying is true.
The
None of
sleep
that
didn't make you
happened.
feel magical.
No, not magical. Well rested.
Okay.
So if you have magical sleep, yeah, then there's probably powder involved. But
Okay.
but what I'm saying is that the sleep was really, really nice. I get a
Right.
phone call, it's my wife. I answer the phone and she says, "Babe, I got in a car accident." I said, wait, what? She said, "Yeah, somebody hit me." I said, "Are you okay?" She told me what was going on. So we addressed that situation. After she told me what was going on, she went to work, she came home. So mind you, everything that transpired with the toilet situation started on Saturday. It was addressed on Sunday. The car accident took place on Monday. And I'm just like, what is going on? You know. And then I had to tap into myself that the motivational side of myself.
Mhm.
And what I've come to grips with the reality of is that we want to be comfortable in life. All of us, every last one of us, is not a person that's listening to the show, watching it, or anything in between. We all want to be comfortable with life. We all want to do better in life. We all want more in life, but no one wants to go through the process to get there. No one. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. When a person looks in the mirror and they see themselves and they don't like the way that they look, whether it's weight wise or whatever the case may be like that, they want to instantly see themselves differently. No one knows what it looks like to actually put the work in.
Right.
Right? No one knows. And even if they think they imagine that they see it,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a process. They still have to go through it.
Right.
Thought about something. I said, often I have had conversations with people. I prayed on it and said to myself that I want to have better. Not understanding that the reality of it is that my mind is conditioned to see that better in the form that I want to see it versus the reality of how it's actually going to take place
Right.
by God's design, right?
Mm-hmm.
So without trial, right? Without trial, how do you recognize or no, how do you identify with your strengths?
It's so funny that you're sitting here and you're explaining this. I just had this
Why say that?
conversation.
What happened?
I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and I was explaining to them that a lot of times in life, I've seen people in relationships. They look like they'll be with somebody for a good while,
Right.
and then eventually it just seems like they're bored with the person or tired of the person. And you
Right.
often hear me say that people make the statement of new.
Right.
I need new this, new that, and new brings a new excitement, a newfound energy. See what I'm saying?
No, it's very true. Very true.
Me and D actually spoke today. He was like, every time I get new workout equipment, it inspires me to work out more because I want to use what I just bought. But in all actuality, what we're addicted to is energy. We have to feed energy. So it's just like I was explaining to this person how they deal with somebody that they can't seem to stop dealing with, even though
Okay.
they know that situation is a toxic situation at times and everything, and they can't stop doing it. And I said, well, It's because your energy is connected. I said
talk about it.
magnet connects to magnets, right? You ever seen? As soon as a magnet come around another magnet, it's like this, right?
Okay.
Right.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
What else does magnets connect to? Metal.
Right.
Right. Usually when they connect to metal, it's a job. But you don't see
I was
metal.
gonna say that, but I thought magnets actually force each other apart. I don't think they attract each other. But
I've seen you've never taken two magnets and they connect to each other like this.
If I did, I don't recall it. But bruh, that's all right. But you make it,
Right. I've seen it. I take stacks of magnets.
Things that are magnetic.
Yeah. Boom.
Got you.
Right.
Got you. I'm with you.
But a lot of times when magnets are stuck to metal, it's for something and it's stationary and it sits and it gets comfortable. And things, the only thing, if you ever notice, the only things like when you put a magnet on the refrigerator, the only thing that seems to pull that magnet off next time is either a force or too much weight. So we would call that pressure.
Okay.
Now, this is the new part because this shit definitely ain't say this earlier. That's the glass. That's the glass that's talking now. But it's gonna make sense. I promise you. Right?
It's the glass and not the blast.
Yeah. Right. I like that.
Right.
However, what I was explaining though, and I'm explaining to people, is energy.
Okay.
I like to often make people understand that, and then, I always bring in religion. Religion is just a force of energy, right? Mm-hmm. So it says in the Bible, through tribulation is how you enter the kingdom of God, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And religion and everything is a mind state. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Right? You have to believe to doing it. I always like to say, God is your mind, Jesus is your heart if you're a Christian, and the Holy Spirit is your character. Point blank, period. Right? That's how I see it. This is the temple here.
Gotcha.
But when you actually go through something, like you said, these trials, it shows your true strengths.
Yeah.
Through tribulation is how you enter the kingdom of God, right? I just said that.
You just said that.
When it shows your true strengths, if you use your mind to get yourself out of that situation, you're seeing your higher self. They often look at God as the Most High. Right?
Absolutely.
All I'm saying to you is we don't know our level of strength or our level of energy and our level of power until we're challenged.
Absolutely.
And often people call tribulations challenges.
No doubt.
Or that's where the statement comes from. God don't give you no more than you can't handle. Because you know your limits.
That's right. Right. Now I agree. Listen, you making some powerful points.
So basically what you're saying is, men, I'm gonna say this for my fellas out there. We've been given a job to be leaders and to understand how to handle the test of times. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when things happen, like the week you had, as a man, you had to step in and assist your wife. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I say assist because she called her husband because that's what who she's supposed to rely on for that.
I would have actually felt the way if she
didn't
went the way it went. Word is mine. I'm keeping it a buck. But like if it did not come through me the way it did, I would have felt the way.
But women, at the same time, too, it takes a lot of strength for y'all to find that guy that you can lean on and know to do that. But all I give advice is allow him to lead. Because if he truly loves you, he's not going to lead you the wrong way.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Now we talk. Now
you know what I mean? I loved how you just said that. I had to giggle at that part. But so what I'm basically saying is, though, that still connects with energy. See what I'm saying? It's still a form of energy. Because if it's the negative energy floating around through both sides, you're not even thinking about trying to lead. You're thinking about pissing the other person off.
Yeah, well, you gave the definition for emotion a while back, bro.
Right.
Energy and motion.
Right.
And And I'm gonna say this, man. I made a my quote of the day for Tuesday, a couple days ago. Actually, was geared more towards, and I said the youngsters, but it can apply to anybody, right? And it was
Right.
more or less in alignment with, you know, all of our life we want, like all of our life. I'm going to make sure I say it correctly. All of our life,
We had to fight.
out, we had to deal with, our parents. You so stupid. You see, I ain't even mad at it. I ain't even mad. You did exactly what you were supposed to do with that one. All of my life we had to fight. Nah, I gotta make
Yeah.
sure I want to make sure that I recall it the way, because I do so many of them, bro. I ain't even gonna front.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's hard for me to recall each and every last one of them that I said, but it was in alignment with, understanding about a parent's love, right? So let me make sure I get it right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay. I say that we spend years wishing that our parents would get off of our back, only to find out later that they're the only ones who truly had our backs.
Right. Right.
I say that because even in the midst of us going through the things that we're going through, like you said, there's things that transpire when we get to a certain point where those who we rely on say different things that's to encourage us. And we miss it at that point, right? We miss it because at that point, it's like, why you coming down on me? Why you got me feeling worse than what I need to feel? And at some point or another, you start saying to yourself, there's a reason behind everything.
Right.
There's a reason behind all of this happening. You're not supposed to get it when it first takes place. Like
Right.
you just said, bruh, and up until this point, had that phone call not came immediately to me, I would have still had to address whatever situation was taking place. But in the same token, I ain't even go front. I would have felt a particular type of way about not being the first call that you made.
Right.
I say that to say this. That responsibility that we want to have in life to be viewed as the go-to person, when the time comes and you viewed as a go-to person, don't feel no type of way.
Nope. You just got to step into your position. Got to step
You
into your
can't
role.
want to be the go-to person, and then when it's time to go to you, not want to be, the go-to person.
Absolutely, bro.
So I say that because I've seen that. I've seen people like we see, one of our sayings is, I'm not mad. I'm just saying. Like me and you,
Mm-hmm.
that's our thing. You know what I mean? I'm not mad. I'm just saying. And because of that, we can deal with
No,
the
it's
moment,
I'm not upset. I'm just saying.
or even that,
I thought
even,
that's what
yeah.
we said.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
not upset. I'm just saying. And we say that because we're not upset, because we want to be viewed as the go-to person. Just
Right.
like those champions that we talking about, and your Brady's and all the other names that we talked about.
Mhm.
When we see them in moments where they look heated and they look like they're frustrated with things, they don't mind being the go-to person.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes they're trying to actually work through the process, and what you see is that energy and motion, that emotion that you see is
Mhm.
them trying to just be able to be bigger than the moment.
And
We
some of
say
them,
that.
some of them go to people, you see a decline because that product is no longer involved in their life. I just want
Right,
you to understand.
or they're getting a bad back. No, no,
Yeah.
no. I've been saying, now listen,
Listen.
listen. You got levels to it.
Yeah, it's levels
Like
to
we
this.
talking about. Like this
Levels
happens
to
to be episode 91.
yeah.
But like we talked about before, like it's levels to gasoline. You got
Yeah.
87, 89,
Mhm.
then you got 91 to 93.
91 starts premium.
91 starts premium.
It starts
Right.
premium. You know what I mean?
So what y'all getting ready to get is a premium version of the Porch podcast. I'm
Right.
not saying that it was ever regular or mid grade,
Nah.
because it was never that. But what we are saying is, oh, it's at 91, so from this point on, it's going to be
Right.
premium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Right.
there's a lot of things that transpire, man, that went on through the week, that in my life and other people's life, that make you really sit back and say to yourself, you know, if I'm going to be truly in a position to be the one that's called upon in the midst of it all, I can't take it personal when that time presents itself. And when it does, I
Absolutely.
need to try to do my best to rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a lot of that is what's going on in that. But look, man, things like that don't happen overnight, right? Things like that don't happen overnight. I said to my wife earlier, I was telling her, I said, I realize in life that a lot of times we want better, but we don't actually, we say we want better, but we don't want to go through what it takes to have better. We want better to fall in our laps. We want better to just come in the form that we see it, and we don't want to recondition our minds. We don't want to get stronger in all of those different areas. We don't want to do any of those things.
It's like Kevin Hart used to say when he used
What's
to do with the Plastic Cup Boys a lot of times. Everybody want to be successful. Don't nobody want to put the work in.
Exactly.
He used to always say that. Everybody want to be successful. Nobody want to put the work in.
That's true.
And that's the thing, man. Like anything you constantly do over and over again. I just be wanting people to, you know, stretch your mind, think, right? You know, think. A lot of times people like me and you, bro, we think about things and we have this energy, you know, there go Jimmy over there. Damn. There go Jimmy.
Word.
Jimmy the,
Wow.
you know.
Cricket.
Yeah. So we have this thing, right, where we have to, once we get something on our mind, we have to share it.
Absolutely.
We can't just hold it in our mind like that. It's something that has to be shared. So because we're that way, sometimes people look and say, "Here you go. He got to go all deep or some shit," or they hit a bitch with the, there you go. Just can't have a regular conversation. And I'm like, why is that conversation not? But here's the thing: even if you're not the person who shares, right?
Yeah.
You still need to stretch. It's like this, bruh. It's this post that I see on a lot of times that it pops up, you know what I mean? And it says, you're not getting old. You just got to stretch. When you was a kid, you could just get up and you had that high energy. You get up and just run. Just run. You get up now and run the wrong way, you might be down for a couple days.
Easily.
You know what I mean? Without stretching that hamstring out, stretching your back. You got to stretch, right? So when I say that, stretch your mind too. People are so, you ever hear people just say, well, that's just how I am.
A lot of times.
Right.
I don't believe in that. Well.
Right. No. I know that people got their ways. They got their ways. Right.
Right.
But to understand, sometimes you have to put yourself in another person's shoes. Or you have to stretch your mind. You have to stretch. You have to look at it in a different light. You have to try to see things in a different way. I say all this to say this. You know, stop being one-dimensional and understand the ability of how I could do things. Most people, man, like this year, I think it was the BET Awards when Diddy got the Icon Award.
Okay.
And the one thing that they kept talking about with Diddy was how he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Right.
For you to have that ability not to want to take no for an answer, you have to stretch your thoughts and find multiple ways on how to get to where you're going.
Right.
It's okay. For example, you're a person who wants to work out, right? Now, it's so funny because everybody talks about diets, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't eat no carbs. You know what I mean? Like me, my thing is I try to stay away from sugar as much as I can.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got people, I don't eat pork, I don't eat beef, now you ain't supposed to eat that, this and that. And I'm not. And a lot of people,
what you eat. Anything that looks remotely like powder. So.
Yeah. No, here we go with the bullshit. Here we go.
Yeah. You say yeah first.
Yeah, here we go with the bullshit. Yep. So what I was saying, you know, y'all gotta excuse P. New batch out in the street. You know what I mean? He can't get his mind off of it. Every time you get into your point, he will remind you of this new batch. You know what I mean? You know, soft batch too. Soft batch cookies. Yeah. So yeah, it's new edible powder out. You know what I mean? Makes you turn into the Mighty Morphin Powder Rangers. You know what I mean? You know, new show coming out. You know what I mean? Powder, the return of ghosts, aka Casper. You know what I mean? That's how that shit gonna be. You know what I mean?
You terrible, man. You
So
terrible,
what I
man.
was saying, man, about Diddy, a person like Diddy who don't take no for an answer means he's found multiple ways to get to his destination. Most people
Right.
that don't want to hear another person's thought, and you know what's so crazy, bruh? I don't even
What's
think
that?
that they don't want to hear the other person's thought. I'm always
Right.
going to feel like it's the who's the person that's saying it.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's because you could be trying to tell somebody something and they don't like, I don't want that from him because he think he knows everything. And I'm not trying to, and I don't think I know everything. I'm just
You're
trying to
absolutely
say
right.
it's another way to look at it.
You're absolutely right. That's
That's all
that's
that
that's
is.
that's great. That's Hey, listen. Before we get too deep into this, man. Now, listen. You guys that's out there. I don't care what event planning needs that you have. Whether it's that wedding. Whether it's a graduation party or whether it's some kind of ceremony, whatever the case may be. We got a one-stop shop, full service event planning company that you guys got to check out that can take care of all of your event planning needs. You let them know who that is, bro. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show.
FNCevents.com. So, P,
Yes, sir.
I see you in your teacup.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of sweetener you use?
Um, Most of the time I use a little Splenda.
Fentanyl?
No, no, no.
I just want to clap it up for not using fentanyl because that shit'll kill you.
Definitely clap that up. Nah. A little Splenda, Uh, sometimes honey.
Splickety?
This is my tea. Honey. Honey will do it. A little bit of lemon. And every now and then, if you want to lose a little bit of cream, use a little creamer or something. It'll do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't fuck with too much creamers, man. Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah. I didn't say
creamers.
anything creamy. I just
No,
said
no, I said
creamer.
creamers. No, I said creamers. That's what I said. I don't
Right.
fuck. No, I'm not coming at you. I don't
It's
like
okay.
dairy. The dairy inside of my coffees and tea. 'Cause listen, it's gonna run down on me. It's gonna run down on me, man, with that mixture for some reason. You know.
Yet you
Yeah.
have no problem with any other kind of white substances.
I was being serious in this motherfucker.
I mean, you eat ice cream, right? You eat ice cream, right?
I said that mixture. I didn't say that I don't like dairy or I don't eat ice cream. What I'm
Sure
saying
did.
is I don't put it in my
Sure did.
tea or coffee.
You
Cause
sure
that
did.
cause that
Yeah.
caffeine that's mixed with it, it's gonna run down on me.
Hey, I'm learning something different today. It's okay. Listen, on what we talking about dealing with just all of that stuff we was talking about before. About understanding why some people want to see other people lose, why some people want to, why people lose sight of what they need to be focusing on, why people claim they want, new levels of success but aren't willing to put the work in, or people being, when it's time for you to actually step up to the plate and be who you're projecting yourself to be, now you feel a particular type of way. All of that stuff comes down to the same thing, man. It's accepting that the reality of it is that you have to be willing to grow.
Right,
If you are unwilling to grow, you will find yourself wanting things that you are not prepared for in life.
right.
And the reason why you don't have these things is because the preparation work, people want to skip it.
Mm-hmm.
People want results in life, but they don't want to do, like you said, what Kevin Hart said, they want to skip the preparation work.
Yep.
I was sitting there thinking to myself earlier, last couple of days, I had been just kind of no alarm clock situation, kind of wake up whenever I want to wake up. And as cool as that may sound, for what I want to do in life, that's not conducive to the level of success that I want to have.
Right.
I'm going to adjust. I'm going to have to adjust that. I'm going to have to be willing to get up at a time where I'm not comfortable with getting up so that I can do the things that are going to put me in a position to be more comfortable with my success.
Well, you got to become uncomfortable to become comfortable later.
Say it all the time, and that's that right there within itself is a truth that most people, not most people, a lot of people have a problem with because the levels of uncomfortable of being uncomfortable look different, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So for me to get up, let's just say every day, and I set my, and it's not like it's super early, but say for me, 8 o'clock is the time I need to be getting up every day. If
Right.
I set that for 8 o'clock, you got the average person that gets up at 5 o'clock to say you sleeping late.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if my mind isn't strong enough to be able to hear that and understand that that's them just sharing their opinion about it, I may just turn around and say, forget it, scrap the entire idea. I'm gonna get up when I want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, I've already came up with 8 o'clock is more of a time that I can have more efficiency in my day. If I get up at 9:30, I get up at 10 o'clock, and I get ready to try to do things. I look up, here it is, it's closer to 11. Well, the bigger part of the day or the most of the morning is gone.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
So I say all of that to say this, like most of the time, the reason why we can't, continue to have success or either, how can I say, grow in our success is an inability, and I said this in this week's Motivational Monday, to ask ourselves a basic fundamental question. Am I willing to do a little bit more?
You know what's crazy? I'm listening to everything you're saying, how the part people want to skip the part, and we were talking about earlier in the show, your Tom Brady's, your Michael Jordans, LeBron James's, your Kobe Bryant's, all these type of people, right?
Right.
And I think I can't get the exact words of how it went, but they were talking about, it was on one of the episodes, I believe, of The Shop, and they was talking about LeBron, and they was like, how do you think LeBron feels, this latter in his career, and he's not, if he doesn't win a championship. Like, of course, the goal, I think, is to win, but I think what he's more addicted to, I think, I could be wrong with the words, but Maverick was saying, the way I know him, he's more addicted to the process
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
And, even people like, personally, like, shout out to DK, you know what I mean? Shout out my boy, you know what I mean? He
Absolutely.
DK is a member of 3 gyms.
Hey, listen, bro.
And he did it the other day. He went to all 3 in the same day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's addicted to the workout now.
Bro, I get it. I know what that's like. Like it's. I listened to a guy earlier this week. My wife sends me these different videos that she getting. It's based on motivation. Y'all know me as a motivational speaker. Even motivational speakers have to be motivated.
Yeah.
They need coaches. They need people that's going to tell them different things, not because they don't have the ability to figure things out, but motivation is something that comes that everyone needs. It's like fuel. Everybody needs fuel. I don't care what you say and what you think.
Yeah.
And one of the things that the guy was making a point to say is that a lot of times, the same things that all right, so like you were talking about with the magnets, there are certain things that are going to be more, that attract other things more than others. And then you got distractions. So the distractions and the attractions are always near each other. It's just a situation of which one you choose to focus on.
Not to be funny, but you got musicians or actors, Hollywood. Let's use Hollywood, right? An attraction.
Right. Okay.
But powder's heavy as a distraction.
Yeah.
Alcohol, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a distraction.
Yeah. It is.
I'm not even going to say money is a distraction because at the end of the day, money is a resource, but it can distract you.
Yeah. But once you recognize with the attractions and once you recognize with the attractions, like you was talking about, some of the novelty things that take place with certain people, and then you coughed afterwards. Okay, cool. So we won't spend any time there. But what I was going to say to you was, there is an equal amount of attractions and distractions. Right? So, for everything that you are attracted to, you have to fight against the distraction of other things, right? So you
Right.
got some people like the guy I was listening to. He was like, you have to become laser focused. These are some of his terms. Laser focused, almost obsessed, close to the point where your obsession is so deep that you block out any and everything else, right? I
Right.
know where you're going with it. You heard obsession and got excited. But what I'm saying is let me just get you back together. In terms of the element of being able to be fully successful at something, you have to develop a level of obsession with that thing, right? You may never admit
What
to
the
being
obsession of what thing?
right. You would
This
never
is what this is. Hold on.
ever
You
go
need
ahead.
to get your terminology together, P. I'm not trying
Got it.
to break your wisdom, man.
No, it's
Uh,
all right.
but
I said
the
what that thing.
obsession
What
with that
do you want?
thing,
You want the clarity. You want clarity on what that thing is, right?
right? Yes,
The difference between people.
right,
The difference between people. With
right.
me, it may be, developing, a motivational speaking presence, doing motivation, creating motivational speaking content. With
Mm-hmm.
you, it may be DJing and burying your face in a pile of it. Whatever it is.
What the?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Why
don't know.
would you throw
I don't
me?
know. I don't know. I'm just what I'm saying is you understand what that is.
So what
You
you
understand.
saying is,
Right.
you think that I'm motivated by in the clubs playing that music, right?
Right.
Pushing
Okay.
P, pushing P, then pushing my face in P later.
Maybe. I'm not but I'm not I can't I say maybe because I've never seen that. So there's a possibility that none of that is accurate. But what I'm saying is that for you to get to 25 years of being a DJ, that
Yeah,
does not come
almost
without an
26,
obsession.
almost 26. Clap it up
Almost
for that.
26. Well, don't laugh at yourself, clap it up.
Yeah.
So that does not come without a level of obsession.
Right.
You have to be obsessed with how music controls an environment, how it creates how it dictates the narrative of how an event will go, or how things will move. You have to
But
become obsessed with that.
what's crazy, bro?
What's
I
that?
learned something recently
Mm,
about myself.
what's that?
Everybody know I love music,
True.
and like you said, obsession. But I'm not
Yeah.
obsessed. I'm not obsessed. I love music, but that's not what my obsession is.
Okay.
I'm really obsessed with positive energy
Yeah.
and music, and but energy. Period. But music really brings
Is
that
it
out of people.
okay? So you use music as the tool
Right.
to be able to get to the true thing that you are actually obsessed with, which is
Energy.
seeing the positive energy in people.
Bruh, there's
Gotcha.
nothing better than when at the end. Listen. This is why my favorite events to DJs are weddings.
It makes
Because
sense.
usually when you walk in a wedding, the energy is high.
Right.
So of course you gotta like music to be able to play DJ, but I don't get the same energy or the same feeling from music when I'm just listening to it in the house by myself.
Right. Right.
But
So
the
the obsession
reaction
is
from the
that, right.
crowd and the reaction from the people and all that gives me that. And the reason why I know that I'm obsessed with high energy is because I'm a talker and I come in and I'm always, what do y'all call me? The mayor. Look at it. He got to walk around, shake hands, and kiss babies. Because when I do that, if you notice, most people hand, I shake, hey, what's up? They giving me the same energy I'm giving them, which is high. That's
Yeah.
what I'm obsessed with.
Right. No, it
And
makes sense.
if you really sit back and really look at life and say, like, when you think of Eric, and I'm not really, I gotta just talk, especially E, the single E. Like, I'm just say this: it was music, it was laughter, and it was probably sex. I'm just being honest, right? All things
Yeah.
that put a bitch at a high energy.
Mm-hmm.
You see
I
what I'm
understand.
saying? So my
Gotcha.
obsession is high energy, man. Good times, good feelings, laughing. Laughter is good for the soul, man.
Yeah.
And what happens is, where in life I've mastered two of the threes that I was talking about to make money from it. Which was music and laughing. DJ parties through comedy shows.
Yeah.
Wasn't loose enough to be out here saying, "Listen,
whoa, whoa,
you know what I mean?
whoa." Whoa!
Man, let me listen. I set it up good, didn't I?
Yeah, I understand you was on a roll.
Did I set it up good? Did I set it up good? Yeah.
Excellent.
This is what I want to say, man. This is what I want to say. Like I said, though, bro. It's called the Holy Trinity for a reason, right?
Right.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right?
Okay.
Mind. Your
Right.
mind, everybody know mind, body, and soul, all that. But really, I'm just gonna say, in your body, you know that. Okay, you still mind, body, and soul because your mind guides everything. But one of the most important organs, of course, is your heart. You can't do shit with a bad heart.
Nothing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's people that have mental illness, but they're living because their heart is still good.
That's right.
But if you got a bad heart, you getting murmurs and all that type of shit. Like it's I hate to say it, but you may not last that long. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it can be a difference.
So you all need that, but your mind, your thoughts. So your mind is God, your heart is Jesus, because again, like I explained to somebody, okay, the Most High. I'm just gonna say this before we get into what we doing. Would you rather or this or that? You got any questions for me this week?
I figured out. Go ahead and make your point while I'm doing that.
So the mind, your mind, right, is, I said, is God. I just want to make this clear. I know I said this earlier in the show, but I want people to really sit and think, man, because this is how you get the best of yourself out of you. So your mind is God, right? And they also say, like I said, the Most High. Okay, your mind, when you think your mind, you think of a body part, you're going to think of an organ, you're going to think of a brain. Where does the brain sit in your body?
In your head, that's right.
Which is the highest point of your body, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then you have your heart. And I said it's Jesus, right?
Right.
So Jesus was known for the ultimate sacrifice, right? For Christians, that's how we look at him. The ultimate sacrifice, right? Most time you make you sacrifice things because you what? You love them.
Right.
Like you'll sacrifice things for your wife and your children because you love them, and the same for me. Because you love them, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a different type of love. Okay, the symbol for love is what?
A heart.
There it is, right?
Yeah.
And the and they call it the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? That's the energy. That's the spirit of a person. Most of the time, we notice that through what? Their character.
That's right.
So when you learn that about yourself, how to reach your highest point, what would you make a sacrifice for, and how to present yourself the best way?
Right.
Sky is the limit, and you know that you keep on, keep on pressing on.
You couldn't wait to sing something.
Yeah.
I knew a rap was coming. I knew it was man. You are a DJ. You just found out later. You know what I'm saying? But you was born one.
Yeah. No, it didn't take too long to find out. I found out when I was 11.
Right. I got you. Right.
Yeah.
We're going to do this and that, so we can get right into that, and then we'll come right out of that, and we'll do what we do.
Hey, welcome to another episode of This or That, where we're going to find out who is this and who the fuck is that. Whether you get wildy, calmy, or happy, you don't know which one you're going to get. However, let's get to the show. I don't know where that came from.
I know where it came from. Blast land. Hey, listen. Welcome to another episode of This or That, where I ask you a series of questions and eventually I get an answer. I don't know what he's gonna say, y'all. Let's just hope for the best. Asking questions or answering questions?
Both.
Oh,
I might walk in a room like Ron Burgundy and say,
See what I'm saying? We couldn't get past the front.
Walk in the room and say, hey, how are you? No, you. No, I don't know her. What is your name? Who?
So,
Ladlin?
In case you guys ever want to
Ladlin?
play this game
like
with
sheep's
someone
wool?
that you know, the rules are basically this or that. His first response was both.
Nah, I like to be asked the questions.
Okay, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
How are you?
Fame or fortune?
Fortune. Wheel of fortune. Because you could do so much with it. If you have a fortune with no fame, people don't know that where the resources. Listen, people don't care where resources come from, bro. As long as you got them. That's the world.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Permission or forgiveness?
That's not as easy as you stated. What you mean, permission or forgiveness?
I didn't say it was easy. I just gave you the two
No,
options.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to see where they relate.
I mean, would you rather or this or that? Would you this being or permission or having forgiveness?
Oh, I guess I'll go forgiveness because I think people have free will, so they don't need permission, in my opinion. You know, when people ask a person for permission, I think they do it out of respect and care. Do you mind if I do this? Do you mind if I go over here? How does right? But when a person asks for, besides the person saying, besides that, when a person does something wrong and they care about that person, they do want them to forgive them, but truly forgive them.
Nah. I mean, you make a strong point.
So I say forgiveness.
These two worlds collide at some point or another. It is a this or that. So I'll ask the question in the way it's designed: teacher or parent?
I'm both, man. So I'm gonna be a parent.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like they kind of merge together.
Parents are teachers. They're supposed to be. Okay. Story starts at home.
Okay. So I ask you a question. It's not a this or that, but it's in alignment with more of a it's a general question, but I know probably everybody gets this at one point or another. What celebrity do most people say you look like?
Different times of life, I've heard different people. And some people may sit there and they may laugh at it. When I was young, and you remember this, shout out to Sister Shireen, and it's funny because he grew up to be some of the people's most favorite thing that I am. They used to call me D Nice.
Tony Montana, right. I remember that.
They called me D Nice when I was young.
Okay.
It was times certain people called me Batman, referring to Marcus Houston. I think they just see the hairline. I don't know. I think that's just what that is. That's what the fuck that was.
Okay.
And I think the last person at one point, back when I was out there, they called me the Dream a couple times. And I'm like, I ain't the Dream, bitch. You don't
they
look
definitely
like
need to wake up.
Right, because last but not least, the impeccable Mr. Influential. That's what celebrity they know me as. Yep. Shake hands and kiss babies, baby.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing about you, man. You embrace the roles that people give you, like if it's real. Now, not all of them, because all of them ain't accurate. But I understand the ones that you do. If you could choose one famous person from history, that you would want on your team during a zombie apocalypse, who would it be?
What the? What the? You can't do nothing but laugh yourself. Zombie apocalypse.
One famous person from history.
I don't know, man. I something is in that cup. It has to be powder over there. It has to be something in that mother.
No, you mean wherever it is that this is coming from the internet.
Real history or a movie?
It just says history. It doesn't say anything about real history. Like
You
I
know
ain't
what?
talking
This
about
ain't
George
even gonna
Washington.
give me Hurricane Carter so he could punch the shit out of. How about that? This is the story of the hurricane, bitch.
Okay.
I don't know who you are. I don't know, P.
Okay, you said it. Hurricane
Zombie
Carter.
apocalypse. How you say? You know who I want? You know who I
Who
want?
you want?
Because
Who
he's
is?
gonna cuss him the fuck out. He gonna die fast if zombies is killers. Give
Who?
me
Bernie
James
Mac?
Brown. Living in
Oh,
America. Give me
okay.
James Brown, bro.
Right. You don't want to survive it. You just want to be entertained while you're in it. All right. Okay.
High energy, brother.
Okay. Which show do you remember most from your childhood?
Show or as a
What show?
child? How old you going?
Pick it, man. 9, 10. How did it pick your age? And it's that.
Martin, man.
I know, bro. I still feel the same way about Martin as I did when I was. I still watch it every night,
Me
man.
too. I put it on that night, but I was like, you know what? I want to watch this because episode 7 of Legacy is out right now. Cut it on, not it. But it's like I want to watch this, but I know I'm gonna fall asleep. So let me put something on that's gonna make me laugh. It's like, boom, there go Martin. I cut it on.
All right. All right. What is something interesting we would not know about you just by looking at you?
Um, my infatuation with numbers. Yeah, my infatuation with numbers. It's just how they intertwine so much and how it lines up with energy. You know, I've never been a 5%er, but how they, numbers. You get what I'm saying? So I guess my infatuation with numbers would probably be, you know, I sit there like at work when something wrong, I gotta figure out the math. You know what I mean? Like, let me sit and I start doing this shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how when they used to say, I used to go over in the corner, I start doing like this, and they be thinking I'm weird, but I'll be really like typing in my head. And it's like when they said Jay Z.
Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that.
They used to say
Stop
Jay
doing
Z
that.
used to go in
Stop
the
doing
corner
that.
and be
Come
rapping
on,
in the
man.
corner like.
Yo, y'all can't see what he did, yo. Please go to if you listening to this, go to YouTube so you can see. Go to this part, man. Like I'm telling y'all, something wrong with him. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm that was my last question, man. I'm scared to see the next thing he might do, man. That's it, man.
That was another episode of This or That right here on the Porch Podcast. Let's get back to it. Let's go already.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night football, baby.
Before we get up out of here, you want to know who my pick is, right?
I'm gonna talk to you real quick, period, before we get out of here, period, about football, period. But Thursday night football, we got the Steelers and we got the Cleveland Browns. Who you like?
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I want Claypool to show off too because he's on my fantasy squad.
Okay. Okay. So you Pittsburgh. I'm gonna select Pittsburgh as well, y'all. We're gonna agree on that.
Nothing against Jacoby Brissett though. Nothing against him.
Nah, it ain't gotta be nothing against them. So we ain't gonna do all of them, but I'm gonna ask you about the Monday night game too. The Monday night game. New York Football Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. It's in New York. Well, it's in East Rutherford, but you know what I mean.
Big Blue. I think Big Blue gonna shock the world and be 3-0. And nobody's seen that coming.
Yeah, divisional games, and I happen to share that division as an Eagle fan with those guys. Really, if it's a tie, it makes my night. I sleep very well. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to say that
Dallas wins because you want Big Blue to get that first L?
No, not really. New York wins the game. They're home, and they seem to be more intact right now than Dallas. Dallas got some injury situations that are, not giving them their full complement of players. So I'm going to go Big Blue. I don't have a score or anything like that, but I think that they win at home. It's a close game.
Who's Sunday night?
Sunday night game. We got the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Who you like? It's in Denver.
Denver, because it's in Denver. That's a
Mile High,
diff.
Mile
Yes,
High
yeah,
Stadium is very different in terms of the breathing ability. For some people,
right,
can't even travel there. Certain players.
yeah.
Um,
So I get it.
so at some point or another, you figure that Russell got to get those guys running and moving the right way. I like Javonte Williams. Um, them being home, I think that the breathing conditions are definitely different for players there. I'll go with Denver, but I think it'll be closer than people think it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'll go with the home team. So we agree on all three this week. Um, and we'll see. We'll see what
Mm-hmm.
comes out of it. Hey man, it's been a fantastic episode. You know,
Fantastic episode. Fantastic episode. This is episode 91, man, of the Porch Podcast. You know, we want y'all to know y'all can catch us on all your podcast and streaming sites: podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Cobcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Audible,
yeah,
mm-hmm. Amazon
and-
Music,
right. Radio Public,
mm-hmm.
Overcast Radio,
Red Circle.
Red Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you want guys, if you want guys, wow, we're having a good time tonight. If
Oh,
you guys want to
whoa,
watch
whoa.
our handsome faces,
If you want to see our hands and faces, not just watch them, but see them.
Sky man,
You know,
yeah,
and
we had a
watch
good
it.
time tonight, man. You can tell, man. If you guys want to catch us on YouTube, it'll be available at 7 p.m. every Thursday, man. And the
Yep.
audio version comes out, I believe, by 8 a.m.
8 a.m. every Thursday.
every Thursday. As we say each and every week, tell a friend to tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Most importantly, enjoy the show. Hey, man, episode 91.
Yes, sir.
We'll put this one in the books, man. We look forward to seeing y'all next week. Hey, E, man,
Yeah. It's time to
have a
go.
good day, man. Have
All
a good
right,
day,
man.
man.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah, I'll talk to
Peace.
you later. All right, peace.